Hey everyone, it's Galano Douglas from Niwasa. I'm here to show you a beaded corn keychain tutorial. There's so many different tutorials that are out there you can check out. I know if you Google some, there's some on there, but this is the way I like to do it. I find it's easy for me, so we'll check it out. So all I did, hope you can see that, was I threaded the needle and then I tied a small little knot at the end, and I already cut out my little corn stalk. So this part's the leaf, the top is leaf. It looks like a little spoon. If you do see some of the pen marking that was the outline, that's okay, it'll be covered up. I also have my keychain ring and all of these beautiful, these are called seed beads. So we have all these beautiful color seed beads. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go on the inside where you can see my pen marks, the outline. And right at the bottom of the leaf, I am going to poke my needle through. And I'm just going to pull all the way through. You don't get stuck on things. And then I'm going to pick up beads. I'm going to pick up enough beads to cover the length of the corn stalk. So just the corn stalk, one way. So need a few more. And one more. Some people keep count on how many beads they put in a row. You can. I usually just wing it. My life motto, just wing it. So I have enough beads, I'll show you. To cover the full length, if it'll straighten out for me, of the corn. And there's just a little bit of room left over at the tip there. You can see that at the tip there. So I can poke my needle through that way. So that is the next step. Poke your needle through the end of the leather. And pull it all the way through. So it'll look like this. And now you're gonna do the same thing for this side. You're gonna put enough beads to cover it from this end to the end of the leaf there. So where you put your knot. So you're gonna put enough beads in to cover this area now. You can keep track on how many beads, like it's a good estimate, I guess. I just roll with it. What I do though is I try to line up all of the beads. I'm just going at a random pattern with the colors of the beads. You can be more specific. So these are called seed beads. If you want to go to your craft store, you can get your own. I've seen corn keychains that are green and yellow, different colors of reds, you know, different colors like this. They all turn out beautiful. So all I did was put my thread through the edge there and pulled it tight. So now we have 2 rows on each side of the corn. So I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna try to put it down the side this way. So I'm gonna put enough beads to cover down this side. Like I said, you can keep count on how many beads you're putting on each row. You can wing it. The thing I love most about beading, what my grandmother taught me, was it should be as least stressful as possible, because that's what makes it good medicine. And she also taught me, I think the most important lesson about beading is you can always fix your mistakes if you think you've made any. My grandmother, Donna Benedict was her name. She's from Akwesasne. And she was, I didn't really realize how famous she was. She made wedding outfits, she made moccasins, she had, she would sell, you know, leather. It was usually locally sourced from hunters who got deer. I didn't realize, you know, how famous she was in, you know, the leather making world until she passed, and I started realizing, you know, how kind of famous she was. She was an amazing woman, my grandma. So I filled enough beads to fill on the side. So I'm going to just stab myself. So I hope you guys can see that. So I have another roll next to it, and I'm just gonna poke it through the tip of the leather again. It's a little difficult pulling it through the leather. I always use my teeth, which I know is not good. I actually chipped my tooth over the summer last year, making my brother a pair of moccasins. So I do not recommend that, but so as you can see, I pulled it tight. We have 1, 2, 3 rolls of corn. And so the string is coming out of this end. So I am going to put beads from here all the way to the end again, just like we did before. Your goal with this is you want to make enough rows of rows of beads to cover around the circle of your corn stalk. So yeah, back to my grandmother. She taught me everything I know about beading and leather work, sewing, really anything traditional longhouse too. Actually last month, actually a few weeks ago, I was on Facebook, and there was a woman from way up north, Northwest Territories, who knew my grandmother and found a elk fringe blazer that she made. It was beautiful, so beautiful. And she posted it on Facebook, and it ended up being shared. I was tagged in it somehow. Someone knew I was, you know, Donna Benedict's granddaughter, so they tagged me in the post, and I ended up reconnecting with her, and come to find out, you know, well, you know, all these amazing stories about my grandmother that I keep learning even though she has passed. And it's all through her work that she did. So it's nice. It's her, I guess, in a way, it's her way of showing me that, you know, she's still around. So I'm just taking a few beads off because I put a little bit too much on there. So and there is a 4th row there. So I'm going to tack it through the leather again, meaning I'm just going to put my needle right through the leather like we've been doing. And at this stage, we'll take a look at our corn and see if we need any more roll. So my string's out right here. So we got 2 rows on this side, 2 rows on this side. I think we should do 1 more row from here to this end to cover this side. And then we'll do 1 more row from this end up here to cover this side. So we got 2 more rows to do. I'm sorry, I am having a trouble speaking tonight. Long day with the kids. I don't know if anyone else, but we are running out of things to do, especially when it's raining. When it's sunny out, I can at least get them outside, but when it's raining, that's a different story. I will say it's making me get even more creative, which isn't a bad thing. So I add 4 more. If anyone would like to, if anyone would like if I did a video on, you know, just talking about like any teachings or stories that my grandmother has taught me, or like tips or tricks with sewing, let us know in the comment section. I would be happy to do that. So again, I have all the beads in on this side. I'm gonna tack it through the tip of our stock. Again, just putting the needle through the leather, and we will do our last row. I will be doing a Zoom workshop June 3rd. It's a Wednesday from 3 to 4. I will be on and be able to assist any of you guys who are stuck or need questions, or even if you just want to get on and talk. If there's, you know, a lot of interest and, you know, you guys really like beading, I would love to do a beading circle where we just get on, do whatever projects we have going on, if it's beaded earrings or even making more keychains, anything where we can just, you know, socialize. It's all good medicine. So, last row on this side. So I'm now gonna fill my sinew. Sorry, I should have told you, but this thread we're using is called sinew. It's really strong, really durable, especially working with leather. So I'm gonna fill our sinew with beads from this end to this end. I have been beading since I was 10 years old. So I've been beading for about 16 years now. My grandma, she did so many wedding outfits. I was always there. I would help her out, mostly cutting the fringe on the leather outfits. So if you guys do want me to do a video, I can add some of the outfits that my grandmother has made, just so you guys can get an idea of the type of style she did, you know, type of outfits. one more. All right, so now that is done, I'm going to poke my leather through again. And all I'm doing is, it looks a little messy, but so this is our corn. And the next thing we're gonna do is take the sinew and wrap it around each of the little rows of corn. So I'll try to do this as close as I can to the camera. So to get started, it's a little hard. You want to kind of use one hand and gather all of them. Use your other hand, and let's see if I can get it as close to the camera as I can. So I'm going to start wrapping it around. As you can see, each space in between the bead is where I'm placing the sinew and pulling it tight. I'm sorry if this is kind of confusing. I'm trying my best to get it on camera good. So I'm just going to keep going around and wrapping the sinew. Don't have to be perfect. Like I said, nothing needs to be perfect with this. It's all for fun, good medicine. So I'm just gonna keep wrapping it around. Doesn't have to be between each row, just as you wrap and it's being placed in between each bead. Maybe if I keep going, it'll show you guys. I think the hardest part about this is keeping your rows not going over each other. So just gonna keep wrapping it around, pulling tight. As you can see, it's getting nice and tight right here. As we keep wrapping, it's starting to look more like a corn keychain. Just wrapping it around, making sure it falls in between the spaces of beads. Doesn't have to be, you know, perfect rows. Just as you keep wrapping, I'm gonna switch hands this way, all the way to the end here. So I've wrapped the beads around. I'm gonna see if you can. It's nice and tight, still can move a little. You can bend it how you want, as you can see. Hope you can. I'm sorry guys, my camera's iPhone 11, but yeah, it doesn't wanna focus. As you can see right here, you can see the sinew. That's all right. I can use my fingers and push that in between so that you don't see it. So what I'm going to do is wrap it again, starting from the end, and wrap it this way. This one is just so we get the thread to this end so we can sew our leaf onto our keychain ring like that. So I'm going to take it and start wrapping it around again, bringing it to this end. Just wrapping like we did before. Just making sure it gets in between a space of a bead. And as you pull it tight too, it kind of stretches the sinew out, making it pretty thin. I have beads all on my elbow. So I'm just gonna continue to wrap all the way to the end. So there. The string is at this end of the corn. So I'm gonna take my needle and push it through. I'm trying to hope to put the needle through this way so we can just go from here and sew this leaf and turn it into our keychain. So I'm gonna pull it all the way through. Like that. And like I said, it's still movable. You can move it. So look how pretty that is. All right. So let's take your ring. And I drew these leaves long enough so that you can put the ring and fold it like this. So now we have our thread hanging through the center here. All we are going to do is take the thread, you know, it's from the inside, push it through the leather this way. Can everyone see that? Push it through the leather this way and pull it all the way through, like that. Now I'm gonna go downward but I'm gonna put it through both of the leathers. You are just making a keychain space for it, I guess. So you don't wanna put it too close together. You still want your ring to move in this space. And what I like doing too is I like going up again through both of the leathers, trying to get as close to that line. If you don't, it's okay. Just to tack it down even more. So now we're up through. Since this is more or less the like shown part, we're gonna go back down again. And there you go. All you need to do is tie it off at the end here, cut the excess string off, and there is your beaded corn keychain. Now, when you do the design, as long as you leave a space for the stock, you can make this leaf however long you want, short you want. There's so many different designs out there. This is just the way I like to do it, and I find it pretty easy, especially when I was just beginning to learn these. But once you get the hang of it, these are really fun to do, and you can get really creative with it. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Anna.